It feels like there's another body in my body. And I don't know.
Would that higher self be referred to as her crystalline body?
It's like another being. It felt like like a like a bigger head and a small mouth. I'm starting to get more of Courtney's mouth back to where it doesn't feel like it's the mouth. Felt like it was closing in. With her hands, and her left hand is still very much pulsating, vibrating on the stomach.
Okay.
It feels like my mouth is quivering.
Okay. So I want Courtney's consciousness to know that everything is going to be okay and everything is protected. The body is protected as we're having this experience to understand and learn and grow from.
Feels really bright. Feels like there's a lot of light around. All she can see is light.
Subconscious and higher self, what experiences and lessons are you providing Courtney with today?
Surrender. Surrender. It's preparing. It's getting ready. It's to be awake. Be awake through the light. There's like a city, a crystal city. It is so bright. The energy's coming in really strong again.
Okay.
These like crystal palaces, these crystal mountains, these crystal cities, and everything is just crystal and crystals and lots of energy. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. Oh, it's so bright.
Can we move you forward to a point where you're able to customize yourself in these crystal cities?
It's like running through. It's like getting out really uncomfortable. It's running in through my body.
Okay.
It's so bright. It's so bright, but it's really becoming really uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Where I'm feeling very thirsty. My mouth is getting really, oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's getting really uncomfortable. It's really, 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 really strong.
Okay. So a higher self and subconscious, I want you to stop this now. I want you to put the release.
Everything's, there's so much pressure. There's so much tingling. There's so much.
Okay.
Really uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, I want the higher self and the subconscious to pull back the energy, please, because I don't see any purpose in this at this stage now. I want profound relaxation to move and feel over her body.
Everything's vibrating.
Okay. Vibrating can be healing. So we'll just want it to be released and have a step back energetically so we can allow Courtney's body to come back into relaxation so she can continue the session and she does not want to experience this anymore. So you can observe it if you want to, but you'll not be experiencing this energy any further. Can we ask the body to be able to be profoundly relaxed and in a very deep state of comfort and relaxation, please?
Everything's vibrating.
Okay.
It's just taking some time, but it is slowing down.
Higher self, I'd like to understand more about what Courtney was experiencing. I can assume, but I think it's better that you explain to us what has happened.
There's like all these crystals. And they're running through the body. They're completely there's like all these fractals of light and fractals of crystals and oh, 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 oh. seeing lots of like the multi-sided, multi-dimensional stars.
Okay, and can you tell me about these crystals more? What is their purpose?
The body's calmed down some, but the head is still vibrating. There's some tingling going on the face.
Are you able to give us an explanation of what's happened to her body and why she needed to experience that?
Like, oh my God. Oh, there's a restructuring of the brain. Oh, the inside of her head, the inside of her brain. They're inside, they're working on her brain. They're working on the inside of her head. They're opening up all the channels, all the systems, all the circuits, and the whole communication download. The whole, oh,
What's the significance of this now?
Connect and relay. Connect and relay information. Oh, the whole inside. She just felt the whole inside of her head. The whole inside of her head move around. Her whole brain was just re. There's not even words. There's not even words.
So, higher self and subconscious, are you able to help us understand what is going on? Because it feels actually quite upsetting to hear this.
There's so much sensation going on in the body. I just don't know.
Okay. I'm trusting it's a profound upgrade and there's significance if they're still continually working on the body, because we've asked them to pull it back, we've asked them to explain it, and we were just talking about DNA activations and being fully activated. This was a question she wanted I feel like this is something to do with it as well. And I am having to honor and respect that the higher self and subconscious have her in their capable hands.
Yeah, it just felt really uncomfortable. There's still so much sensation in the body.
Mm.
There's different
Yeah. And
sensations, you know.
it does sound very intensive and overwhelming, but I believe it's necessary that they needed to do this today.
It felt like a big star, like a whatever this star is called that has however many points on it. And that was like an iridescent looking star that was like inside my head and moving. And it's like my brain was moving. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Uh, Something felt like it didn't feel bad. I mean, the sensations are intense, but it didn't feel negative. It just felt like there was this force, there was something that was moving inside of my head, inside of my brain, like, and shooting out and like opening. And now I'm feeling this like tingling sensation all over my body, but now it's going deep in my stomach, like an opening. And I've felt this before, and I just don't know, like a hollow opening in my stomach.
Okay.
And it got so bright, and it's still bright, like there's all these lights on. And consciously I know I'm not in a light room,
Mm.
but it's still so bright.
Can the higher self and subconscious give us clarification? I feel like there is now a direct dialed in conversation we can have with that being who is on the blue ship, the Arcturian. Have you just re-hardwired Courtney to be able to be a very direct channel for you?
And there's a lot of sacred geometry. There's like the flower of life with a triangle in the middle. And in the middle of that triangle is a bright, 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 bright white light. And that is the star. That is the creation. That is the spark of the whole. That is the spark that ignites the whole tapestry of the universe, and how and where everything is connected, and it is radiating out from that bright light star of infinite source energy.
Thank you. And I'm curious about the significance and importance of Courtney experiencing this today, please.
She is an infinite being from the beginning of creation. She is part of that flower of life. She is radiating from the source, the spark of all that is, and all that is becoming. She is the light. It is the force. We had to get her in here to paralyze her body. She does not feel her body at this time.
What is
She
the
is out of her body. She is the universe, the spark of the universe, as is many of you, as you are a piece of that spark. It's electrifying. She is with us now, and she feels as if she is in infinite space where there is no time. She is in the infinite. She has traveled with us. She has felt this traveling in the stars, in the universe, coming from this infinite light source.
Okay, well, thank you very much for helping Courtney today. What messages do you have for us, please?
The light is running. It's connecting all of the beings in preparation for the next phase. The next phase of creation. Hold the vibration. Keep the vibration high. It is the light that runs in you. Keep the light. Hold the light. It is your connection. It is your source. It is the creation of all that is and all that is becoming. Dolores is from this light. Dolores is this part of the spark of light that connected you and Joanne. It is the light within all of you, connecting, continuing to connect into the next phase as it will continue, as creation continues and continues. Hold the light, be the light.
Thank you so much. Am I able to connect back with Courtney's higher self?
I'm back in my body, but it's feeling physical, like a lot of physical sensations again.
Mhm.
That was that was out of body. That I felt very removed from my body.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm feeling the tingling and I'm sweating. Still really bright. Before seeing like the sacred geometry of it was like being it was like this light, and then it went into like being this universe, and I mean being what you would think of the universe, and then it like with like all these stars, but it formulated into this like flower of life. And then in the middle of the flower of life was this triangle, and then in the middle of the triangle was this um was just this really 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 bright light, and then that just went into like this completely out of body. But it felt like I was this it felt like I was removed from the body, but it felt like I was part of this circle. It was like uh, it was like this circle, and it was like seeing all these like stars and grids and beings and light all connecting and like um, continuing to connect this grid, um, and it was like just formulating into this like what it is, but then formulating and like continuing and spreading out into what is, um, into what is continuing into what is, um, formulating. It's hard to put words.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Incredible experience for you. I understand how challenging it can be to understand um, all that what has been going on when it's so extremely intense.
Just, there's still some vibrating energy, but it's just running. It's like energy is just running.
Mm. Yeah. So we can ask for the conscious mind to relax deeply as we call upon the higher self and the subconscious to be able to give us clarification and answers today. Is the subconscious or higher self able to give us some clarification, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Are you able to give us insight into what Courtney just experienced?
She's still experiencing it. It's still running through her body. But it is activations. It is a merging of uh, the merging of multiple dimensions, multiple beings, feeling, sensing, processing.
seemed like it was a very extremely powerful connection. What will she notice moving forward after the session? Will there be any noticeably different things for her?
She's activated many different whew, she's activated many different like many different portals, many different beings, many different dimensions for different beings.
And so, what is the purpose and the significance for her that you would like her to understand?
Oh, wow. More insight and more clarity on who she is, which star system she is tapping into, which star system she is dealing with, and helping them to acclimate their energies. So each star system may feel different sensations running through their bodies. Courtney just experienced many different layers and many different frequencies from many different star beings and star systems, all while upgrading her own system as aspects of more than one star system, star being, as being a part of the one, a part of the one of creation. She is part of all. She is part of all of the star beings, all of the star systems. This is why, and this connects her to her memory as a child when she used to star travel at night in her sleep, but also in her waking state in knowing, which is why we woke her up. And so she could still experience knowing it was real and not just a part of her dreams. We had her close her eyes and open them, and she experienced traveling with the stars as being one of all, a being of one of all parts of the whole universe. She will now know and be able to pinpoint who is with each star, which star system they belong to, and help them to acclimate in to each of their body upgrades for their particular star system. This is why and how, with her touch on the ship, she will be able to help with her touch and her frequency tap in to that being to help them with their upgrades in the shift. She had to experience and feel each and every one of the upgrades for all the star beings that will be shifting.
Thank you so much. The message we did get from the session a few times was that this is all in preparation for the next phase and the next stage. It seems like things are starting to accelerate quite quickly now towards that.
Yes. She wants to say, buckle up.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
The energies are here. The energies are coming in more frequently. They are coming in at a faster rate. People are noticing more and more sensations in their bodies. This can be confused with other distortions in their body, thinking that it's more 3D stuff, but it's not.
Mm.
This is in all in preparation for the shift.
Thank you.
There are many, 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 many upgrades occurring at this time. People are feeling it in their head. People are feeling it in their stomach. People are feeling it in their eyes. And people are feeling it in their chest with palpitations. These are energy upgrades.
Thank you so much. How is she feeling now? Is she able to be more relaxed into this session after that epic?
The vibrations and tingling are gone now. Just still seeing the light.
Okay. It felt like there was an embodiment of the Arcturian. Is that correct?
That was the first one she went through. That was who greeted her.
I see.
The Arcturians greeted her and showed her the ship. But it was beyond that. And that's when it went into space and a whole universe of stars.
And for clarification, higher self, the being that came in while Courtney's body was frozen, can we get an understanding of who that was?
It's more of a collective. There was a being. Blue being. I do not know the name.
Are we allowed to know?
It was actually it's like the being was her. It was like it was like the being was in her, but then separate from her, that kind of showed her the way to the collective that was greeting. So I don't know the name.
Thank you. It's fine, but it was a higher version of Courtney.
It feels that way because it felt like the being was a part of her and in her until it wasn't, until it separated from her to show her, and then greeted by the whole.
Thank you. Thank you so much for explaining and letting us understand. Is it correct for my thinking that the blue ship and the crystal cities are one and the same?
Hmm. It did seem to. Hmm. So it did, yeah. So, okay, so the disc, the shape was massive, but then looking at it from the outside, looked thin and really wide, but then stepping into that space felt really big and not thin in any way. The mm, Now my conscious mind is stepping in. The crystal cities, Cris- mm, that was a whole, I don't know, that was a whole different vibration or a whole different sense of something. And because again, it was just like being in and seeing these iridescent crystal mountains and cities and like a floating city of crystals. But then the body was experiencing just extreme oh, energy. Um, like out of this world. Um, it's- that sensation starting to come back a little bit. No, the crystal city and the crystal mountains, and that was different from the ship.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. Um, we were wondering some questions today, please, if you could answer them. We wanted to understand the first wave or the first shift of people leaving this planet for their path and journey, either to New Earth or somewhere else. Am I correct in thinking that this has already started?
Yes. Going back to the the light system, the light grid. It is the light system is formulating the holographic place, the holographic new earth as it will be. But it has not been filled with all the light beings that will be entering. So the structure, the formation of it is there and has begun, yes, because it's like the blueprint of a house, or the house plans of a house, architectural wise. It's like that has been done and formulated. And that looks complete. But what feels it is still to come. So there will be, so in essence, yes, the first grid, the foundation of it is there. By this intricate system of light beings and plans. And then you have the second the second shift will fill and make whole the essence of the foundation. And the third will be some significant key players in the whole. The second is the main, is the essence. The third is like the final plug-in, if you will. The way I'm seeing it.
Thank you. For the third phase, for those group of people who will be shifting to the new Earth, they would have had some time experiencing the old Earth, is that correct?
Yes.
Will their experience on the old Earth support and have purpose to share with those on the new Earth?
Interesting. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Yes, in that. Okay. So the third, as we know, is staying to help those that need these key players that are coming in. Lastly, they completed no, they completed what they needed to for old Earth and really helped those people they needed to help them raise their vibration. And then those key players that stayed to help those raise the vibration, when they get to new Earth as the third phase, they're essentially completing and seeing keys again, seeing these like key like key people on key locations. It's, I mean, the new earth is and will be what it's supposed to be before they get there. But because everything is constantly evolving and everything is infinite, everything is constantly in motion. Yes, of course, there is a great purpose for them to be there and for them to come in with their energy. Now, as far as can they bring something from the old earth to the new earth, information wise? Is that what you're asking?
More like experiences.
Not really seeing that, no.
Thank you.
It's just that when they get to New Earth, that is their time to get there. And that will be like a whole evolving, um, whole evolving even further into high vibrational key information. Nothing from the old earth I see being brought in to new earth. It's just that when their energy gets there, it will be of importance for the evolving and continuation of everything that is constantly in motion to progress anyway.
Thank
It
you.
will be their time and place.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. In terms of the consciousness leaving the planet of Gaia, can we get an understanding of how long does that take? Is this an instant process of the soul leaving the body, or is there something else that needs to happen?
2 years came in. Whether that's 2 Earth years or 2
Thank you. Thank you. Just trying to understand. I guess we won't be able to comprehend it from this perspective, how one consciousness of a planet does exit the vehicle and the body of the planet.
So it will be when the majority of the people shift. It will happen simultaneously. So when the first set, or okay, the shift is all happening at once. It's just going to, okay, no, okay, yes, okay. So, okay, the shift is happening at once, but some people are going to be on the ship for, say, 2 years. Some people are going to be on the ship for, say, 5 years. Some are going to be on for, but we're speaking in earthly terms. It will feel much faster when traveling. They will, okay, I'm losing a little bit in time and space, but it's like it will all happen at once for the major shift. But people will be, some people will take longer to get there than others. But when the majority of the people arrive is when the essence and soul of New Earth arrive.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Am I able to ask about the people that appear to be dying in India? For the most part and for the majority, what is really happening there, please?
Getting water, something in the water. It's running through their bodies. Like muddy. There's like a bacteria in the mud that's getting in the water system. And
Is these the exit points or are they transcending?
some will be in that middle ground. Some will be in that in between state. So yes, some will shift, and others will not. Others will go to where they're meant to go.
Thank you so much. In terms of China, are we able to have a summary of how those people are doing in that country?
Okay. I'm getting a lot of static with a whole lot of beings, with a whole lot of people, with a whole lot of something going on with their heads. And then it's really chaotic, very heavy, a lot of static, like a lot of interference, with brainwave activity.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like us to know uh, about China?
I'm seeing pigs, slaughterhouses, nasty conditions. Do not eat meat from China.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we did eat meat from China, um, what is it that is really there? What are we actually consuming?
The pigs are in sick conditions. The animals themselves are sick. And the factories or the place that they are still, like, I guess the slaughterhouses, they're really dirty. There's there's nothing ethical that is taking place, that is going into the animals or their working conditions.
Okay, thank you. Am I able to understand more about the Pig Collective and their purpose to be here on this planet? Um, what was what's the significance and what did they want to learn as a collective here?
First, I first like just basically giving up their free will, but that's kind of hard to. It's hard to wrap my head around, um, because there's happy pigs too. Um, I don't know, other than came in giving up free will, but that's hard to comprehend.
Okay. It's fine. Thank you. That's really good out of curiosity. Thank you very much. And for those other beings that we were curious about today, which were referred to as the ant beings, what can you tell us about them?
Actually, oh my gosh. Seeing them as little satellites for a bigger collective. And it feels that that collective is Arcturians. And it's like they're little satellite beings.
Hmm. Is there anything else you want us to know about them?
And just like little robot satellites for the Arcturians.
And what was the significance of them being around Courtney recently?
Just to help her, just to help and help in reminding her, helping to upgrade her. Just being around her and knowing that we're always around her. We're always here. And she can tap into us anytime. And what's interesting is ants working together is on the earthly realm is then they all play a role. They all have their part in the chain of working together collectively. And as many of them as there can be in one place, they all have their significant role in their colony. And the same with the Arcturians and the ant beings. They're always busy. They're always doing something. But every single role is significant in helping each other. It's like, is there one ant or is there 100 ants You know, the 100 ants can get way more done, or a lot more done faster than the one ant. They all are significant and all important. They all play their roles. And together, it gets done faster and easier and move on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm wondering now, after this profound upgrade that Courtney has had, will this provide her with more access and information from the Arcturians, or will it be for many different species and beings that want to connect in with us?
It should be with many, or the ones that she was, whose energies she upgraded with. And she doesn't even know all the ones.
Okay. We do have another question about antidepressants. People questioning if they're on antidepressant, will this block or pause or impact their ascension?
No, only if it's abused. And most people that are on these, it is helping to regulate a part of the brain. And when that is in a flow state, and when that is regulated to help be in a more joyful state, then the higher their vibration is. And the upgrades that are happening will take place in the body and will happen anyway. And their spiritual teams know what is taking place and know how to and what to tweak. It's like an acupuncture needle. You can stick it in and you have relief, or you can turn it a little bit more to up the frequency of what that needle is doing. And so it's kind of like the same thing with the pharmaceuticals and the spiritual teams. Like they can tweak it to where they need to tone it down, the effects, and or energetic wise, whether they need to tone it down or they need to turn it up based on their, like, internally looking at a body like it's an electrical system. So take away the shell, take away the body. But if you're looking at the electrical system in the body, then the spiritual team will know what to tweak in order for the circuits and systems to function and balance themselves properly without the hindrance of like blocking from taking a antidepressant of what they may think in their physical world, their physical sense. You take away that, you just look at the electrical system of how energy is running in their body, through their body, and how they are even connected and grounded in with the earth, how much so, or with their own spiritual teams. It's like a conduit of energy, and their spiritual teams can tap into to change the frequencies in the body. And it's not just with antidepressants, it's with any kind of pharmaceutical, as long as it's taken in moderation. Now, if somebody takes a whole bunch of pharmaceuticals, that's going to be harder to keep the tweaking of the electrical system balanced and on the higher end of a balance when there is more at play in the system, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you so much. I just think people are worried that they are taking any type of medicine and that somehow it's going to impact their spirituality or their connection. I think this is just when people are not knowing or can trust the profound connections of their spiritual team to know that they are always watching and they always know what the body needs support with.
Yes.
It can also be said that people who experience depression, at this moment in time, it can be misunderstood upgrades, misunderstood energy, and misunderstood spiritual gifts.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
People have this their own sense of normal that they've taken on throughout their years and throughout just their life experiences. And so they set the bar for what they think is normal. And when these energies come in that are outside of their range of normal, then they don't know what to do or how to deal with it. So they immediately go into fear mode and they think that something is wrong when it's not. It's higher energies that are coming in. I mean, of course, there can be different scenarios for different people in different situations, and there's a lot that factors in whether it's something traumatic in their environment or yeah, I mean, even a traumatic event in their environment, that covers a lot too. But as long as they believe and they trust and they have their connection and they know that just because something goes off the beaten path or just because it's outside of their range of normal, it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong or that something has to be put into the system in order to, quote, correct the system. When really it goes back down to the fundamentals and then the connections to nature, and it's just getting in that field of energy and space and releasing what the body doesn't need and bringing in more of the high frequency light.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the clarification and information today. I really appreciate all that you have given us.